Hey there, it's Radian Magwell with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in the amazing Nashville studios. And it's time again for our sweepstakes where you get to win one of these. And it's really special. In fact, it's so special, I can't tell you right here, but you can go to Rumble and check out exactly what this is. But all you have to do is get one of these stickers. And over the past several months, we've made some really cool GlockStore stickers that if you purchase any one of these, you will be entered to win this. And like I said, if you want to know exactly what it is, it's very rare. Not many of them available, but you can see it on Rumble. So all you got to do is go to the website and buy one of these stickers and you'll be part of the contest. GlockStore has been around for about 40 years, and our objective is to bring you the latest, greatest Glock accessories, Glock firearms, Glock handguns, just about everything you could ever imagine for your Glock, and Glock news too. So we are here today to show you something else that is, well, what I think is pretty cool. It's a Magwell for your G43X that is uniquely designed by our good friends at Radian. And I'm going to show you how it works and how to put it together because it's a little bit complicated. This is a Glock 43X MOS with the MOS plate. I'm going to go and make sure it's empty. And it is. Pull the trigger in a safe direction. Now, this Magwell, like I said, is kind of unusual and it has a very unique locking mechanism. Typically, when we have a Magwell, what we're going to do is we're going to put a plug into the little channel back here behind the magazine well. And then there's a screw that would actually attach the magazine well, the Magwell, to the actual gun itself and kind of captures it on there. Challenge with the 43X is this does not have the lanyard hole that typically comes on most Glocks. So you have to come up with a creative way to anchor the Magwell onto the gun, and Radian has done that, and I'm going to show you how it works. It's pretty cool. What they've used is kind of like a dovetail system. So if we get in closer, you can see that there's a little slot there, and then this is the plug that they developed, and there's a little corresponding dovetail action there, and it slips on just like that, okay? Kind of does that. Now, many of you may be asking yourself, well, how does it capture itself inside the gun so it doesn't like just slip off? And this is what's even more amazing is they have this pretty cool system that expands. Now, you know, it's really hard to imagine this. It expands the aluminum, which is what the plug is made of, to the point where it captures itself inside the frame. And so that's what this is, and that's what this screw is all about. And I'm going to show you how this works right now. So in the plug, there's a hole. And there's also another hole on the other side, which is something we'll get to later. But first, we're going to take this particular screw, which has a kind of a bronze look to it, and we're going to screw it into the plug before we put it into the gun, okay? And we're going to get it down here and get it started. It's interesting that it gets kind of stuck there. Okay, so you start it by hand. All right, you can see what's happening. I'm screwing it in, right? And as I bring it down here and it stops, you're going to see that it's going to stop right here in between these two legs of this this plug. And you'll see that the plug has this screw has a kind of a head on it. And as I then screw this, it's going to expand the material, the actual aluminum material, just enough to capture and catch hold of the actual size of the frame, which is pretty unique and almost, you know, unbelievable when you think, well, we're expanding the steel. Well, yes, if you can, or the aluminum, the metal. If you look at the very thin legs of this thing, you can see that just a little bit of pressure will bend it out. It's not going to break it, but it's going to bend it out. And they put some serrations on the edge here that's going to capture the plastic. So the first thing you need to do to install this is to install that screw, get it hand tight, all right, it's hand tight, and then we're going to install it into the frame itself. And if it's too wide, you got to back it out a little bit. So it is a little wide right now, so I'm going to back it out just a little bit. Squeeze those back to make sure that that fits in there, and there it goes just like that. You can see how nicely it fits, right? Okay, now the included Allen wrench is what's going to be used to actually capture that in there. So I'll go ahead and do that just a little bit right now, just to get it secure. So let's see here. There we go, there we go. Now, we're gonna go left here, which is going to give us a little bit of resistance. And I don't wanna break it. I just wanna squeeze it out there just enough, kind of hand pressure. Now I know that this thing's not coming out without undoing that screw. So the plug is now captured into the frame itself. All right, now here's the next ingenious thing that they have done. Well, first let me show you how this works. So basically, at that point, we're gonna go ahead and just anchor the piece on there, right? Okay, and you'll see how we're gonna get this captured in there, into that dovetail, which we talked about earlier, and it's gonna get basically right about there, right? But what they've done now, the question you're gonna ask yourself, and what I asked myself, is, well, how does that stay onto the plug? Well, they came up with a pretty cool system here. Let me pull this guy off real quick. And there's the other hole right here. Okay, that other hole uses this little detent, and you'll see there's a spring on that detent. So just like an AR-15 detent concept, we're gonna put the spring into the hole, okay, and the detent's gonna stick up. Now, the spring pressure is gonna ride up on top of this magwell when it's installed, and it's gonna kind of capture it. Okay, it's not only that, there's a little hole there that's gonna, that spring's, the detent's gonna get into, and that's what's gonna capture it onto the gun itself. Not only the dovetail itself, but that detent's gonna prevent it from vibrating off or getting pushed off by your hand or whatever else. So it's, like I said, it's pretty amazing. Now, they give you another Allen wrench, a really tiny one, that is used to disassemble as well as to assemble, because as we start to put this on, you're gonna notice that that detent's in the way, right? So now what I've got to do is I got to take this little tiny Allen wrench that they have given you, and I need to stick it into the hole that's on top of that detent and push it down. And as I push it down, I'll decompress the spring, and I'll clear it out of the way, and I'll push this magwell into place. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put this all the way down and then kind of capture it just like you do a slide cover plate. You kind of push that in and pull it out and push at the same time. And there it is. It's installed. And what's really cool about it, it's got this really unique Reiki feel to it or look to it that drives your pinky finger up, which then drives your hand up, which allows you to get the highest grip on the gun. And again, if you watch any of my videos, you know that magwells are great, right? They're designed really to help you load magazines and do that fast. But I think the biggest advantage of a magwell, especially for these smaller guns, is that it helps improve your grip because it gives you something to kind of hold on to. All right, now as I make my grip, I can feel my finger intersecting with this little ledge that they have built right here that, again, pushes my hand up and gives me that high, firm grip. Of course, we always want to use that left hand too, so our left hand comes over here and it squeezes our right hand onto the frame. That's how, the master grip is. It's really that left hand squeezing the right hand on the frame. So now my trigger finger is loose and I can manipulate the trigger as fast as possible because I'm not doing a death grip here. But again, the magwell helps me with that because it keeps my fingers in place. And that's really what I think this magwell is going to bring to you. Not only the fact that it, looks pretty cool too. So, I'm Radian Magwell. This, of course, is the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in Nashville, Tennessee. We do have this in stock in Nashville. So if you're ever in the store, come on down and check them out. We're just 2 miles from the airport. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.